Hey everyone, it's David here. A lot of y'all have seen my video, Unique Sales Techniques. It was available, I posted on YouTube from both of my salon accounts. I posted that back in 2015 and it's got several thousand hits. I'm sure a lot of it is salon owners. So that video, with it being posted 5 years ago, I felt like it was really time to create a newer version because a lot of things have changed in the last 5 years. So here we are. Welcome to Unique Sales Techniques Part 2. For those of you that did not see Unique Sales Techniques Part 1, I will briefly introduce myself. My name is David Givens. I own Island Tanz. We are located right outside of Houston, Texas. We have two locations, one in Crosby, Texas, which is about 30 miles east of Houston, and then a second location in Baytown, Texas, and we are working on a third and a fourth location. So hopefully by the time I get to Unique Sales Techniques Part 3, we have many locations. So I took my salon over from my mom in 2013, the very end of 2013. I had about 20 days of practice before we started 2014's fiscal year. My mom's best year on record was $80,000. And she pretty much did what a lot of independent salon owners do, which is just broke even. That's fine. You're paying your bills, but you're not making any money yourself. My first year, we did a little over double that, a little over 160 grand. And here we are now. It's been, 8 years later almost. And now we're sitting here looking at a little over $250,000 a year for our Crosby location. Company-wide, we're around a $500,000 store business. So how did we get to that point? Well, we utilize a lot of things that some salons do and a lot of salons really don't. One of the first things I'm going to say is common sense in packaging. A lot of tanning salons will have many level 1 beds, and when it comes to their highest level beds, for example, their level 4s and 5s, they've only got 1 or 2. But once again, they're level 1, they'll have many beds. That's really not the way you want to set up your salon. So when it comes to setting up your salon, which will be my first topic in Unique Sales Techniques Part 2, when you're setting up your salon, you really want to ensure that you build your salon for your success, okay? Your level 1 clients are going to pay you the least amount of money. They're going to spend the least amount of money in your salon. And if you're a client watching this on YouTube or wherever it may be, sorry, I hate that you have to hear this, but tanning salon owners will all agree, those are also going to be your clients that complain the most. So level 1 clients, they spend the least amount of money. They are barely ever going to buy a lotion. If they do, it's going to be a low-end lotion, and then they're going to complain a lot. So one thing you can always do is upgrade. So the way that we have designed our salon and all of our salons is we have set our stuff up for success. So when it comes to a level 1 bed, back when we did 5 levels, we now have simplified tanning, and I'll discuss that in a little bit later. We've simplified tanning, and now we've only got 2 levels. But when we had 5 levels, our level 1 beds, we only had 1. It was a 10-minute bed, 1 facial, okay? Level 2, we have 2, a stand-up and 1 lay-down. Level 3, we had 2. Level 4, we had 4. Level 5, we had 2. Because level 5 is high pressure, there's really not that high of a demand for level 5. But you'll see where I'm going with this. Our clients could always upgrade. You can wait or you can upgrade. That pushed our clients to purchase the higher level packages. So that's one of my biggest keys to success. So if you're a salon owner out there watching this, one of the things that I recommend is when you do equipment changes, that you set it up to where you have more of your high level beds and less of your low level beds. Another thing that we did with our equipment is we set our salon up, and I'll give you a video tour here in just a few minutes, but we set our salons up so that we can run any bed in any room for the most part, and we've set it up to where we can change out equipment as regularly as possible. Now, I know this might not be a very popular opinion amongst manufacturers and distributors. However, one of the things that I preach against, especially for independent salons, is new equipment. There is several methods that you can utilize to make purchasing brand new equipment useful to you. New equipment comes with warranties, and if you have many salons and many rooms, you can purchase new equipment regularly, and then as long as you're continuously purchasing it, all of your equipment that you've purchased new in the past can continue to stay on warranty, right? If you play the system right. That takes millions of dollars to get into that game, and a lot of us don't have it. So one of the things that we've done, and I've always preached, is purchasing your equipment used. Let someone else go out, make the mistake of buying all this equipment brand new, buying $80,000 beds, and getting themselves $500,000 in debt with, $5,000 a month in bed payments, plus another $7,000 a month on rent, payroll, all of that stuff. It adds up. Before you know it, they're out of business. So I recommend that anybody that I associate with, one of the first things I'm going to recommend to them and any of my clients with my consulting service, it's going to be purchase your equipment used. I come across used beds all the time. Let's talk about, for example, Sun Angels. The Sun Angels. In 2015, I looked at purchasing one new until I heard the price tag at $78,463. Brand new, installed, delivered and installed to my location in Crosby, Texas. I about had a stroke. That's a very expensive tanning unit, okay? Literally September of 2019, just a few months ago. As you can tell by the decorations behind me, we're coming up to Valentine's Day. As we call it around here, it's Valentine's Day. It's 2020. So, just a few months back, one of those Sun Angels, 2015 model that was priced to me for $78,000, one sold for $350. That's depressing as somebody who potentially would have purchased one. So, buying beds on the used market. Tanning beds aren't cars. There's not commercials for them. Your clients aren't going to see them. They're not going to know what's new and what's not. So I recommend purchasing all of your beds used, because a new bed to you is a new bed to everybody, right? Your clients don't know that it's 5, 6, 7, hell, 12 years old. All they know is it's new to them and it's exciting. New equipment is what makes your clients excited to come into your salon. 2018, we had actually the end of 2017, I installed 2 new beds and a new sunless unit. Very end of 2017. I did not install one new bed in all of 2018. 2018 was our best year on record. 2019, we'd already hit the plateau and we started to come back down the hill. Revenue was a little bit lower. Client excitement was a little bit lower. They were used to several years of brand new beds, right? Or new to them beds. And then I went a year where I just didn't install anything. These things are heavy. They're hell to move, and it is kind of pricey to move them at times. Well, the very end of 2019, I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and purchase 2 new to us high-pressure beds. We purchased 2 Matrix units, as well as a new stand-up unit, a Soltron Shuttle, which are not brand new beds. But to my clients, they're brand new, and those are the Cadillacs tanning beds to them. And excitement has come back, and here we are at the very beginning of 2020, and we're up 35%, all because clients are excited about the new equipment. So if you're a salon owner watching this, I highly recommend changing out your equipment as often as possible. A lot of people are going to say, yeah, but it's expensive to change beds out. Well, if you buy a new bed, it's going to cost you the same amount of money to have that thing delivered and installed and have the old unit pulled out. So now we're going to go ahead and get into new clients and how to sell your UV tanning packages. All right, so let's talk about new UV clients, okay? And we can even talk about existing clients. This will touch on them as well. So your new and existing UV clients, any client that utilizes one of your UV tanning services. Right off the bat, let's talk about some of the things that you want to do from the moment that they come into the store. First off, the minute you see a car pull up in front of your store as a staff member, you do not want to be sitting down for multiple reasons. First, let's discuss safety, okay? Let's say that you have somebody walk into the store that has ill intentions or bad intentions, okay? If somebody comes into your store and they have bad intentions, the camera is not quite zoomed out far enough, but you'll notice later when we do the video tour, my salon is set up to where my counter is open on both ends, and then we have 2 doors that lead to the outside. So my staff always has 2 means of egress in case somebody comes in with bad intentions. They can always exit from one side of the counter. I really do my best to think about my staff's safety when it comes to this kind of stuff, okay? But if you're a staff member and you're sitting and somebody with ill intent walks through the door, guess what? You're not prepared to get away in a situation of danger. And this is a topic that a lot of people don't want to discuss, but plain and simple, it's the world we live in, right? There are always going to be people with bad intentions. So anytime a client or anybody pulls up right in front of the salon and you think that they might be coming in the door, you want to be sure that you're standing up so you are prepared, whether it be for good intentions or bad intentions. You're either prepared to sell them everything in the salon or to get away in case you need to. So don't be on your phone. Always be excited to see somebody. Every single client that walks through my door, hey, how's it going today? If my girls don't know my name, they learn it within the first week. You greet every single client that walks through your door, and you greet every single client that exits your store. I can't tell you how much it irks me, really grinds my gears that I'll see staff members in other salons when I'm there training or whatever it may be. They'll be sitting there and somebody will walk out and the girls won't even look up from their phone. That bothers me to no end, and I know it bothers just about every single owner out there. If you are a staff member watching this, I get it. It's not your store. You're never gonna care about the salon more than the owner, right? Because you're not as heavily invested as the owner. But the key to success is taking pride in your work. I've been there. I was literally the worst employee that I could have ever hired. I would have fired myself in a week. I know what it's like to be younger and to be a millennial and even younger than that. And I know what it's like to be hired on at a job where sometimes you might feel like they don't really care what you're doing or they might not be paying attention. Trust me, little things go a long way. Okay, so let's discuss some of those. So don't be on your phone when someone walks in. Someone comes into the salon, be sure that you're not on your phone. I don't care if you're texting, if you're talking to the owner, even say, I got to call you back, I have a client. Be sure that you're off of your phone before that client walks through the door. If you're on the salon phone and you're handling an issue with another client, be sure that you tell the client that you're on the phone with, give me just a second, please, and then tell the person that just walked through the store, can I please handle this phone call, and then I'll be right with you. 90% of the time, unless they're having a really bad day or they're one of those people, they're like, yeah, no problem, I'll sit here and wait. Okay? So, whenever a client walks into my store, the first thing that they do, if they haven't been in for at least 6 months, or we have installed a new tanning bed since their last visit, or they're a brand new client, those are the three stipulations on this, they get a tour of the salon. Doesn't matter if they tanned here for 5 years and it's been 6 months since they came in and we've installed a new bed, they're getting a tour of the salon again. So it's extremely important to tour the salon with them. Why? Sit in a restaurant. We're not going to have a price menu out or anything like that. Why? Because anytime you go to a restaurant, you've already decided what you want to eat, especially if it's a restaurant that's going to have the menu up behind the register. You've already decided what you want to eat before that person asks you, right? So they don't even get the chance to suggest an item to you. That's why when you go through a drive-through a lot of times, they're going to recommend a dessert. They're not going to recommend a specific type of cheeseburger or chicken salad or whatever it is. So it's extremely important that you give these people a tour of the salon. Why? Because that's when you're going to sell suggestively, right? That's when you're going to recommend things to them. Before we get to a sample tour of my store, I'll finish going over other little things that are extremely important. We have simplified tanning in my stores, okay? And in the Island Tanz stores. So my second location is a licensee store. We licensed out our brand and we're doing that with a couple of other locations. It's owners that are wanting our strategies. The Baytown location, for example, is one of my best friends. He owns that location. He bought this location and then utilized my techniques in his store, and they've seen their sales just grow by crazy leaps and bounds. So when I say we simplified tanning, it takes a lot to train you as a staff member or as a salon owner. It takes a lot to train your staff on 5 different levels. A couple of other owners in the Facebook groups recommended to me, hey, we really need to find ways to simplify. Here's what we did. And I took it and kind of built off of it. So simplifying tanning means we have 2 levels, entry and all access. That's it. So entry level is, at my store, it's $39.99 a month, and that gets you our former level 1 and 2 beds, gives you access to those, and that gives you 3 beds to tan in, or all access, which is self-explanatory. It gives you full access to the salon, anything that you want. Sunless, unlimited sunless. You want spray tans? Come get them. It's unlimited. We have lipo light, laser lipo, unlimited lipo light sessions. A lot of salons will sell those things for $1,000 for 10 sessions. That's okay. We used to sell them for that price too and made good money doing it. My goal is I want to keep my clients on that membership program through slow season, because I'm not selling any lipolite in November, and neither are you. So that's why we introduced the all access. They want to do hydration station, same thing. Come do it. So our all access is $79.99 a month. I know that a lot of people are going to say, man, that sounds cheap. Well, it is, because you're not going to cancel, because the sign up fee is $59. So you can either sign up and stay on it, or you can cancel whenever you want. And whenever you come back, guess what? You're going to spend another $59 sign-up fee. So we've done this just to try to keep people on EFT. It's a retainer thing, as well as we're all about spoiling our clients. Are they going to use a hydration station? Not likely. Are they going to use a lipolite? Maybe. Are they going to use the teeth whitening machine? Twice a year. Are they going to cancel their membership? No. Because they're going to think about it, man, it cost me $200 to get my teeth whitened at the dentist, or I already pay for it at the salon. I'm just going to keep my membership. I got to have a gym membership to go get in a sauna. It's going to cost me, $30 a month to do that, and all I really want to use the sauna. They got the hydration station at the tanning salon. You know what? I'm just going to keep my tanning membership. Do I use it? No, but I'm going to keep it. So that's why we've utilized this program and this strategy with our stores. So be sure that your beds set themselves apart as owners, okay? Our beds, for example, our level 1 bed, it's a very small Tan America Fiesta, 32 lamps, 1 facial. Our level 2 bed, it's an Ergoline 350. It's got 3 facials, and we've got a Soltron Shuttle stand-up bed. The difference between level 1 and level 2 is crazy. You'll see here shortly. And then when you get to our all access beds, they really don't set themselves apart from each other as far as level 3s, 4s, and 5s. But man, they truly set themselves apart from the entry levels, right? So be sure that you are helping your girls and your staff sell your beds. Be sure that your beds set themselves apart. If the only difference between your level 1 and your level 2 is 5 lamps, you're probably not doing yourself or your staff any favors. So as a staff member, it's important for you to know that even though it's like that, even though it might be hard to differentiate between the 2 levels, you can still make that happen, right? You just need to come up with your own way. That means that your job's just a little bit tougher, but that's okay. You need to learn more about UV science and explaining to the clients the difference between UVA and UVB. Your tanning salon owner can go into explaining to you the UVA and UVB. So be sure that whenever you are selling your UV packages that you're confident, and this really goes with anything, be confident, okay? Be sure that your staff and you as a staff member really know your stuff. When you know the science behind tanning and you can explain that science to a client, that's when your client's gonna, they're going to give everything they have to you, because they're going to have full faith that you know what you're talking about. When you can sound like, my staff members, for example, are called skincare experts. That's what their job title is. Okay. When you can sound like a skincare expert and somebody that really knows the science behind ultraviolet radiation and ultraviolet light and tanning, your clients are going to do whatever the heck you ask for, because plain and simple, you sound like you know what you're talking about, and you do. Okay, so be sure that you have incentives our highest, I mentioned the entry level and all access. The prices that I gave you on those are EFTs, or monthly memberships, where it comes out every month, right? If you're a salon and you're not offering those, I recommend you do it as soon as possible. So EFTs, when you get people to sign up on EFTs, be sure that you give some kind of incentive. Okay, so our entry-level members, they get 10% off of all products, and our all-access members, if they're on EFT, they get 25% off of all products. Okay, that's one of our biggest incentives to get people to sign up. So now I'm going to lead into give y'all a virtual tour and explain how I sell my packaging and my beds. All right, so on our tour, we'll start off on the lotions. Now, these products are always likely to change. On this store, one of the things that was important to us was the stone wall. Whenever I designed it, that was something that I had to do. I felt like whenever I designed it, I had thought about the stone wall in my head, and I said, "Oh man, I got to have one of these." And this is what we came up with. You'll hear me discuss the client solutions, and we put these counters in at the back for us to store our client solutions in, and it goes all the way down. As well as, you'll have to pardon back here when I filmed, I put everything back here. But you'll notice that we have extremely adequate storage space for the girls back here to put their purses and all of their other things. So let's say that you are a client. This is bed number 1. This is in our all access package or our level 4 package. Now, our clients, my camera will mess up with focus on this. It is a DLSR camera. So one of the things that you'll notice is we have, we fold our towels with little pockets, and we have timer talk. Some people call them timer talkers. I can't even say it. But we have these little cards, and this one is from March, for example. And the way it works is we put these in the beds and put them in the towels. Why? Because the client has to touch it. If they have to touch it, that means they have to at least look at it, which means they need to read it. Sometimes we'll have bed tints on the beds as well that discuss new features. For example, this one is discussing our hydration station, which is no longer new, but it is something that we try to get our clients to utilize. So if I'm giving a tour, I start off with bed number 1. Bed number 1 is our Matrix L58. This bed has an open air design, so if somebody does not like being in tight spaces, this is the perfect bed for them. Why? Because when you close this bed, you will look at it and you'll see that it is open on the top. You can see out to the ceiling. So if you don't like being in a very tight space, this is the bed for you. Okay, let's move on. This is our spa suite. So this is where we're going to have our teeth whitening machine, our lipo light, the laser lipo, as well as our vibration plate for you to use after you have utilized the lipo light machine. So we started out with a level 4, former level 4 with the Matrix. Now we'll go to a level 1. This is our Tan America Fiesta. So whenever you are describing beds, if you have a 4 or 5 level system, what I recommend is picking a corresponding amount of features to highlight. So this is our level 1 bed. You'd pick one feature. Our what used to be our let's call it a script, shall we say, this is our level 1 bed. It's Tan America Fiesta, and it has one facial bulb. This is our most economical way to develop a base tan. That's all we say. This is our level 2 stand-up. This bed is the V60 shuttle. It has 60 lamps. This bed also has 220 watt lamps, so it is going to give you really good color, just like our higher level beds will. This bed's just not going to have the same luxuries that our other beds have. And this bed also has a dressing room with a mirror behind this wall of lamps here. So now we'll go on to room number 4, which is our Ergoline Avant-Garde. The Avant-Garde is actually going to be coming out of our store this weekend that we are filming. We're going to put a Soltron race in here, which is a pretty similar bed. But this unit has shoulder tainers. It's going to have an ergonomically designed acrylic to prevent pressure points. So you're not going to have to worry about the smile lines underneath your butt cheeks. You don't have to worry about the quarter size dot above your tailbone or the angel wings on your shoulder blades. The leg tanner. This is our most popular unit. We utilize these units in our stores, and they get so much play. It's unreal. Our sunless booth is the Pura Sunless Spa. Pretty much self-explanatory, right? And then we also have a hydration station inside of that room. Now, one thing for the owners that I will mention before I move along, you'll notice that all of my rooms have a gray disconnect, which is out of focus. There we go. A gray disconnect in every single one of the rooms. The reason that that is important to us is because, like I've mentioned, we change beds as often as possible, okay? So by having the gray disconnects inside of the rooms, we can pretty much put any bed we want in here, and we don't have to call in an electrician to rewire it. We have 800 amps of electric three-phase, so we can put just about anything in here we want. For example, all of the smaller rooms back here, basically from where we are standing back, are 60 amp three-phase capable, and then all of the rooms forward and on the other side of the salon are 100 amp three-phase capable. Okay, so now we're going to go look at the rest of the beds, and as a client, the way that we try to design and try to tour the salon is so that we started with the best, we showed them a little bit of the in-between, and now we're going to end with the best. So this is our L33 Matrix. This is one of our new beds. This is the X33ER. This is a high-pressure tanning unit. It's 12-minute tan time. It's just like bed one, where it is an open-air design. So if you don't like close claustrophobic areas or tight areas, this is the bed for you, as well as the pillars of lamps in the center on the top and the bottom both rotate to give you a more even and distributed tan. Owners can pay attention. The back of the bed, you'll notice it glows different colors. Sometimes it is the same color. Let me see. So yeah, they were just a little off on their timing, but a while back, like way back, getting the Wayback Machine in 2013, I did a lot of things where I put LEDs inside of beds to make older beds look new. That became pretty popular. One of the things that we've done is kind of phase that out and just put glowing lights on the back. And it really seemed to work out really well. So next, this is our KBL or Megasun Max 10. This is a 10-minute bed, okay? This bed's going to have aromatherapy, self-contained air conditioning, shoulder tainers, as well as it's only a 10-minute tan time. So if you are in a hurry, you are on your lunch break or whatever it may be, this is going to be the bed for you. Next, we have our Ergoline Classic 650. This bed is a 15-minute tan time, and it does give you the best of both worlds. This bed is going to give you a high-pressure tan on top, as well as tubes on the bottom and shoulder tanners. Owners, you'll notice there's an error flashing on it, maybe. That's error 002. If any owners want to help me out with that one. And then here we are going to end it with our Matrix V28, which is in our level 5 package. So the V28 is a 12-minute tan time. It's a stand-up. Now this particular V28 has been, shall we say, souped up. It has ER glass in it, which is going to allow a little bit more UV out, and it's going to give you a little bit more color, as well as it does have the original Matrix V28 lamps in it as far as wattages. So this is a pretty badass tanning bed or booth. But that is the salon. So whenever we show it, we pick a corresponding amount. On level 4s, we're going to pick 4 things to talk about on these beds. On 5s, you're going to pick 5 things to talk about on these beds. And on level 2s, you're going to pick 2 things to talk about. Let's talk about some lotion sales. A lot of people that watch Unique Sales Techniques really watch it for the lotion sales. This is the longest section of the video, okay? That's my bread and butter, okay? Lotion sales are, I hold those near and dear to my heart because that is what sets my staff apart from a lot of other staffs. So first, owners, be sure that you have lotions to sell. If you only have 10 bottles of lotion on the shelf, you're going to have a hard time validating a complaint to your staff for not selling products. Staff members, if they only have 10 bottles of lotion on the shelves, sell them every day. You should sell 10 bottles of lotion a day, depending on your volume. Our store, for example, it's January, so we're seeing just over 100 clients a day. It's very easy for us to sell $100 or 100 bottles a day. Okay, or I'm sorry, 10 bottles a day. Wish we could sell 100. Salons that are seeing half that or even a quarter of that, you should still be moving multiple bottles a day. Okay, I'm going to show you how. Every single client that walks through your door buys 5 things, 5 on their first purchase. Okay, so when they come in, the first thing, simple. They walk through your door to buy a tanning package. You're not even selling that. My girls do not make commissions on tanning packages. EFTs, they make a small percentage, but other than that, they don't sell tanning. I sell tanning because I own the tanning salon. They sell lotions. So your first thing, tanning, bam, that's done. They walk through the door, they want a tan, right? Second thing, a lotion, a body lotion. That's really easy to sell if you utilize all of these techniques. Plain and simple, the one thing that always gets them, do you shower without soap? No. Then why would you tan without tanning lotion? Okay. When I say they buy 5 things, those 2 things, every client's going to buy when they walk through my door. The next 3, you might not get money for those 3 things on the initial visit, but you're going to sell them. Those clients are going to buy those next 3 things before their package has expired. Okay, so the next 3 things. You look at my shelves. I have a ton of stuff. I have moisturizers. Bam, let's talk about moisturizers. I've now sold you on a tanning package. I've talked to you about tanning lotion. So let's talk about moisturizers. You can go to, Walmart or Walgreens, CVS, Bath & Body Works, wherever you want to discuss, whatever you want to use. You can go there and purchase one of their decent moisturizers that smell okay, but at the end of the day, they have an alcohol-based product that works as though it's an SPF 15. So if you get out of the shower or the bath in the mornings, you put that on and you come in here and tan, you literally just put on sunscreen before you came to tan. You're wasting your money and you're making my product look worse because you're not getting color and you're going to come and say that my lamps are bad. No. Try one of my products. Our products are specifically designed to extend the life of your tan. The typical skin cycle is going to be 30 to 90 days. Well, we're going to at least give you 1.5 to possibly 2 times that, okay, with our tan extending moisturizers. Let's talk about the legs. You probably noticed in the video tour, we have a leg tanner. And leg tanner for us is a huge hit. That's our most popular unit. Why? The legs are the hardest to tan. In order for melanocytes to produce melanin, they need oxygen, right? How does the body get oxygen? Through the blood. So the legs are the furthest from your heart. You have the least amount of circulation in your legs. Therefore, no oxygen. So we have leg lotions. They also have hair growth inhibitors in them. Our leg lotions are amazing. You're going to have to shave less, and they're going to get your legs to the color you desire. Did I say shave? That's right. We also have this product called Head to Glow from Devoted Creations. Designer Skin makes one called No Apologies. It is a shave lotion. A lot of women will notice that whenever they shave their legs, their legs are less dark than they were before. Why? You're shaving your tan off. Our tan extending shaving lotions are designed to prevent you from shaving your tan off. You can wet or dry shave with them. We've had people shave with them in the parking lot. This stuff is amazing. I brush my teeth with it. I don't care what you say. You believe your product and you have to be confident. Okay? So I just mentioned your client purchasing 5 things on their first visit. We still have face lotions. We still have body washes. So there's a lot of products. Some independent salons are also boutiques and other things that you can sell. But it's very easy to sell 5 different tanning items on your client's first visit. You might not get money for those 5 things, but by God, you need to try to sell them. If you work for me, you're gonna sell them. Another thing that a lot of salons don't do, they get really scared about giving things away. Well, when you give things away, you make somebody feel special, important. Like they are the only person that matters to you at that moment in time. So if you've ever gone to the store and purchased cologne or perfume, let's say Macy's, if you've gone to a Macy's, you go there, you smell 85 different types of perfume, you smell the little coffee jar and all of that, your nose is burning by the end of the day, you finally pick a scent or a fragrance that you like, and you purchase it, and they give you this bag, right? And you're holding this Macy's bag, and you've got your box with your perfume in it, or your cologne, and before you know it, you realize that you've got 85 little cards or placards with little bitty vials of sample fragrances as well. That makes shopping fun. We have the same opportunity here. We have sample packets for days, right? The cost on the salon is minimal. So anytime that your client comes in and they purchase something for the first time, they purchase their package for the first time, they purchase their lotion for the first time, I want you to throw sample packets in that bag just like they would at the perfume counter, okay? You're giving that client the opportunity to try out another product to purchase in the future. Why? The skin is just like the rest of the body. It builds up a tolerance. You can't tan in the same bed every day. Your body's going to build up a tolerance. You can't use the same lotion every day for a long period of time. Why? It's just like shampoo and conditioner. You have to change it constantly, right? Because your hair is going to build up a tolerance. Same thing with tanning lotion. My clients, we have a cabinet back here. We have multiple cabinets. I believe there's 4 of them, and they're big. And they're constant, they're filled to the brim with lotions, and they're bags, right? And in every one of these bags, there's multiple bottles of lotion in it. And some of these clients had just started a couple of weeks ago, but it's important for you to explain to your client, and I'll show you how. It's important for you to show to them and explain to them that they might have hit a plateau. How are you going to figure out if they've hit a plateau? You are going to ask every single client that walks through your door. I don't care if you see them every day at the same time of day. You're going to ask every single client that walks through your door an open-ended question. Why? Because if you ask them a closed-ended question, you just ended the game right there. Do you have your lotion today? Yeah. All right. Well, bed 1's ready for you. That's a closed-ended question. You don't want to do that. Don't say, do you have your lotion today? Instead, you want to start a dialogue with your customer, okay? What skincare product are you using today? And that is coined per Lisa Parsons from Devoted Creations. What skincare product are you using today? That's important, because if you ask, what skincare product are you using today? And they say no to that, you're going to think they're a special kind of stupid, right? They're going to have to give you an answer that is more than one word, which means you have just started a dialogue with that customer, okay? What skincare product are you using today? I don't have one. Well, why not? I've never liked lotion. Well, here, let me hand you one to try. Don't pay me for it, just try it. If you like it, we'll talk later. If they say, oh yeah, I'm using this, it's, let's say it's Truly Iconic from Devoted Creations. Oh, okay, well, how do you like it? It's good. If they say, it's good, or use anything other than the word, it's amazing, that means there's room for improvement. That's your time to shine. That's when you're going to use your knowledge of your products to step in and say, well, let's try something different. You obviously aren't head over heels about it, but we're going to find you something that you love, okay? You want to be sure that your clients are happy with their products. Be sure that you know your products. Owners, please don't stick a staff member out on the sales floor or behind the counter to sell products on their first or second day. Why? Because they're not going to remember how many different bronzers there are. They're not going to remember what each bronzer does, and they're not going to know what all your products do. And what's going to happen is they're going to sell a client on their very first day a bottle of, let's say, matte black or Le Moment or something like that is going to have a large or a high amount of DHA in it. You're going to turn a pale client orange. That client's going to go home. They're going to write a bad review about your salon. They're going to say that your girls don't know their shit. And before you know it, that client is never going to come back, and neither are their friends. And you've just cost yourself potentially thousands of dollars to try to fill a shift. No, let's do things the right way, right? So be sure that your girls know there are 3 different types of bronzers: cosmetic, DHA, and natural. Okay, be sure that your girls know what tyrosine is. That's what's in each lotion to start the melanocytes to produce melanin in half the amount of time. It takes 7 minutes for the body to start accepting UV rays naturally. It's not a big deal outside, but in a 9-minute stand-up tanning booth, you've just wasted over 3/4 of your time, right? So be sure that your girls know what benzyl nicotinides is. That's the ingredient that makes a tingle. Be sure they know how to read the labels on the back. The higher up on the ingredient list that a ingredient is, the more prominent it is. So, for example, Devoted Creations, one of the top ingredients is going to be aloe. Why? Because they're aloe-based, as opposed to if you look at some of the other manufacturers, it's going to be water because they're water-based. That's why one of the reasons that we carry predominantly Devoted Creations. Aloe is soothing for the skin, right? So be sure that you utilize these techniques. Let's say that you have a client walking through the door that you can tell has had a really bad day. You're going to have to be able to step out of the box and think out from behind the counter. Think like an owner. Be smart. Okay, they're having a bad day. What am I going to do? Well, what makes people feel a little bit better? Aromatherapy. Well, just about anything's aromatherapy if it smells good, right? Used to lotion companies would say, oh, this is an aromatherapy lotion. And we all fell for it as salon owners. Well, if it smells good, it's aromatherapy. So if someone comes in and they're having a bad day, hey, try this bottle of, DC Glow or Adorned. If they like the fragrance, it's an aromatherapy. I want you to try a packet of it. You look like you're having a bad day. If we used to utilize that technique on when we see nurses walk through the door, parents with kids that you can tell are driving them crazy. Use common sense on things like that, okay? If you have someone that comes in at lunchtime, you probably don't want to sell them a high DHA bottle or a bottle with a lot of DHA bronzer in it. Why? You don't want them to streak at work, right? So start with the best to sell the rest. And this is another book a page right out of Lisa Parsons' book. Start with the best to sell your rest. Why? Because plain and simple, you want to sell the best. You want your clients to have the best product. They're going to have the best beds, so you want to make sure that they have the best lotions. So we're going to start with our top shelf lotions. One of our most popular price points in our salon is going to be between $100 and $120. So that's going to typically be anything in the Color Rush line from Devoted Creations. We start with those. Never pull down more than 2 bottles. Why? If you're going to take a test, let me ask you, and I know I'm not going to hear your answer, but let me ask, would you rather take a open-ended question test where it's, who was the second president of the United States, and then you have to fill it in? Or would you rather take a ABCD test where you have 4 choices? You'd rather take the ABCD test, right? Well, now let's ask, would you rather take a true-false test, or would you rather take an ABCD test? Would you rather take a true or false test? Why? It's less thinking. Tanning doesn't have to be hard. Refer back to, the first or second section where we discussed simplifying tanning. Make tanning easy. Give them 2 options. You hand out 2 bottles. Okay, which one smells better? Bottle A, bottle B? Bottle A. Cool. Okay, I can tell you're not completely hooked on that bottle, so let's pull down another one. I just want to give you another option and be sure that you like it. Pull down another bottle. If they still like bottle A, guess what? That's the bottle they probably are going to need to take home. You can let them smell several bottles, but never pull down more than 2 at one time, okay? Women are possessive creatures. So the longer they hold it and smell it, the more that they're going to own it. Make sure that they hold it. Don't let them give it back to you. Say, oh no, just give me a second. Let me finish getting your stuff in the system or whatever it may be. Be sure that they're holding that bottle. And one of the steps that we use here at our store, and it's kind of tough sometimes to do it. A lot of clients don't walk in and instantly want to start talking about lotion. They want to see your beds. They want to figure out what package they want. But if you can start off on lotions, you've guaranteed that sale. Why? Because you can get them to hold that bottle throughout the entire tour of your salon, and it goes back to women are possessive creatures. The longer they hold it, the more they own it. She's not going to set it down and put it back. Men, There's one thing a man's never going to tell a woman: I don't have the money, I'm broke. He's never going to tell you that. So it's really easy to sell a lotion to a man. It's also really important to know that men have more sensitive skin than women. I'm a guy. I get it. That pulls a little bit out of my masculinity just to say it, but we do. So it's important for you to know that and tell your clients that. But say it in a non-demasculating way. Okay. And a simple way to explain that is women can shave their legs on the go with a dang pocket knife and have no problem with it. A man uses, the best of shaving creams and amazing razors, and they've got razor burn on their face for 6 weeks. Men have more sensitive skin than women. It's important to tell your clients that. This is one that hits close to my heart. Don't give them the option to buy a lotion. They don't need the option. They're going to buy a lotion. They'll walk through your salon. You need to have that attitude. Don't say, would you like to try a lotion today? You're giving them the choice. It's easy for them to say no. That goes back to open-ended questions, right? What lotion do you want to try today? That's your wording. If you say, do you want to try a product? No, I'm good. Okay, well, you ready in bed one? What skincare product would you like to use today? That's what you're going to do. Don't give them the option to say yes or no. Make them say yes whenever they're walking through your door for the first time. Talk confidently about your product. Now, I've worked all day today, and it's about 10 o'clock at night whenever I'm filming this, so I am going to say a few times during this video, right? But talk confidently about your product. Talk loud, proud. The minute that you start talking quiet, you've lost a sale. The minute that you see like I just did, you've lost confidence, okay? It's important that you know your stuff. You talk loud, you talk proud, you talk fast. The faster you talk, the less likely that your client is to be able to process the information, and the more likely it is that they're going to buy whatever the hell it is you're showing them just to get you to shut up. So talk fast, talk loud, don't yell, but talk loud enough for them to hear you, and be sure that you are not feeding them just a line of BS, because they're going to know it, right? At my store, I've got 5 staff members that have been with me for over 3 years, one of which has been with me 7 years, and they stagger between 7 and 3 years, right? So my girls have all been here long enough to where every one of my clients know them, they trust them, they know that they're not going to give them something that doesn't fit that client's needs. When I have new girls come in and work for us during slow season, it's always hard for them to make sales in the very beginning. Why? Clients don't know them. They don't trust them. They don't know that these girls know their stuff. So my clients are actually pretty well trained to where they can look at my girls and they know if they know their stuff or not, because my clients know lotion just as well as the girls do. Why? Because they've heard it so many times. Make sure that you don't have a car sales environment. You don't want your girls meeting your clients outside on the sidewalk before they get through the door to buy a lotion. But you do want your girls at least utilizing these techniques that don't feel like sales techniques, right? If you say, what skincare product are you using today? You just sound inquisitive. You don't sound like you're trying to say, hey, what car are you here to see today? That's not what you're here to do, right? You really want to build a relationship with every one of your clients. My girls are pretty good about whenever they see clients and they build up a relationship with them, they are able to figure out what that client likes, even if it's just bottle design. We have a client that's really likes bandanas and stuff like that. She's very Western, so when the Little Bit Redneck came out, that was the first client that I thought about, because that's one of the clients that I deal with a lot whenever I'm in here running in and out. And when that bottle came out, I was like, that's a perfect bottle for her. I showed it to her. Bam, she bought it, didn't even smell it, didn't open it, didn't even care that it was a tingle. That was her first tingle to buy. And I told her it was a tingle initially, and she bought it specifically because of the bandanas. I knew she liked it. So you need to develop these kind of relationships with your customers, okay? Now, anytime that you are trying to sell a lotion, use personal examples, okay? That's my favorite bottle. Don't lie, though, on that. When it's your favorite bottle, you damn well have better used it, okay? But you can always use personal examples. Oh, that's my sister's boyfriend's mom's secretary's favorite lotion. She uses it all the time. She just came in about an hour ago and used her bottle. She loves it. Use personal examples like that to sell your product, okay? Your clients are automatically going to say, oh, well, somebody else likes it. It's not on the clients. The general public isn't going to see things on the shelf and think, well, it's there, so somebody likes it. They're waiting to find that product that's perfect for them, right? And it's up to you to give them clues as to why that bottle is perfect for them. So another thing that is extremely important on this is breaking down your cost per packet. You do that per session, right? You break down the cost per packet and then you add it or equal it to the bottle to figure out what your cost per session is. So let's use Devoted Creations Fortune, right? We're going to use that. That's a $145 bottle. It's 13.5 ounces. When you're showing this client, you explain this to them, because if you're showing them a $145 bottle versus a $15 packet, they're going to be like, I'll just take the $15 packet. No. It's a $145 bottle. It sounds like a lot, but it is 13.5 ounces as opposed to a packet is only a half an ounce. So if you divide 145 by 13.5 ounces, that comes out to about $10.75 per session. That's how much that lotion costs you per session if you were to utilize a half of an ounce per session, which on average is a little bit excessive, but that's what we're going to go with, right? So $10.75 per session. The packets are $15 and they're a half ounce. Divide 13.5 ounces by half ounce at a time. It's 27. It would take 27 packets to equal one bottle at $15 a piece. Let's do the math. 27 times 15, it's $405. So yeah, you can buy the packet today and you can keep buying the packets so you can really afford the bottle comfortably. But at the end of the day, you just spent $405 on 13.5 ounces of that bottle. It really makes $145 sound a hell of a lot better than 15 now, doesn't it? If you can utilize those techniques and do the math on that and know that math, you're going to be okay. That's one of the keys to selling the high dollar bottles. So I think that the information that I've given you in this video, it's not quite as long, and it might end up being longer, I don't know, but I know that it doesn't have all of the detail that Unique Sales Techniques Part 1 had. The reason that I wanted to make this video tonight is because I'm looking forward to launching a new series of videos that is a lot more in depth, and of course they're going to be time consuming, but what we're looking at doing is creating a full series of videos that will be training videos for salons to use for their staff. They won't be like this one tonight that you just watched, was where I talked to the owner and the staff member in the same video. What there will be is sections that you can access from the video library from our new website that we're about to launch. There will be sections, it'll be a portal, and there will be sections specifically for the owners, sections specifically for bed detailers or bed cleaners as others call them. There will be sections specifically for sales individuals, and there will be sections specifically for managers. And then we're also looking at adding bed technician videos as well. One of our in-house techs that is phenomenal, as well as one of the regional techs in the state of Texas, has been looking forward to working on creating a series of videos for maintenance and preventative maintenance and day-to-day things and tasks that you should do to keep your sunless booths working, all the way from that to relamping strategies, and even we're gonna get some videos set up for a lot more in-depth maintenance procedures on the equipment. So anyways, I truly hope that you got a little bit out of this video and that it is useful for you, because like I said, Unique Sales Techniques Part 1 is a great video. My staff still uses it. I get calls, emails, messages from salon owners across country, actually at this point across the world, that have watched that video and they still, I have several owners that have said, I hired somebody 5 years ago, that was their first video they watched, and still to this day, everybody, that's their first video that they watched, and they have to watch it before they can go out on the sales counter. These videos, you still need to explain your salon to that, which is specific to your town and your liking, and you might have things that you do completely different than me. That's fine. My way is not the only way to succeed. My way is the way that I've found to succeed. It works great for me. And like I said, I hope that y'all got at least a little bit out of this video. If y'all have any questions, be sure that you type them in the comment box below. Any suggestions, feel free to type them, email me. You can email me at david@islandtanz.com, or you can use islandtanz tx@gmail.com, or you can call me or text me. 832-457-7158 is my direct cell phone number, as well as I also have a website which will be in the link below shortly once we get it launched. So hope you all have a good busy season.